right, back to it now as we kick off another brand new hour of the Steve Gruber Show. Glad to have you here for the conversation. A good conversation is going to be. Look, three big things this hour that you need to know about. Number one, buckle up, Michigan. Click it or ticket starts today. I'll tell you that for the folks here close to my southern compound. Number two, the Attorney General for the state of Michigan, Dana Nessel, pursuing lawsuits protecting illegal immigrants over the safety of Michigan residents. That, according to Michigan News Source. We'll dig into that article. But first, we're going to continue with where we've been all day. The big story about Joe Biden having aggressive prostate cancer that has metastasized to his bones. Just in time to get the Robert Hur tape off. Just in time to get it off the front page. That's what it's there for. Look, the Robert Hur tape shows quite clearly that Joe Biden, well, the train left the station without a conductor. That's what it showed, and I'm not taking shots at Joe Biden per se, but I am going to take shots at the people around him that lied to you and I over and over again. And they lied. They also lied, I'm going to tell you this right now, about his cancer. Prostate cancer doesn't just show up having metastasized your bones. It's one of the easiest cancers to detect with the PSA. The protein level is very easy to detect. Not always easy to treat, but usually it's treatable. Can certainly extend somebody's life for years and years. And so to have them show up and say, oh my gosh, he's got this aggressive form of cancer, it's metastasized to his bones, and suddenly it's here, wrong answer. So you start going back through the tapes. You start shuffling through and seeing what you find. First thing you find is Joe Biden himself talking about having cancer in 2022. Let's start right there. Boom.
And because it was a 4-lane highway that was accessible, my mother drove us, and rather than us be able to walk. And guess what? The first frost, you know what was happening. You had to put on your windshield wipers to get literally the oil slick off the window. That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer. And why can't, for the longest time, Delaware had the highest cancer rate in the nation.
I and so many other folks have cancer. 2022. He said that. At the time we talked about it, we said it was not a Freudian slip. We believed he had cancer. That's 2022. Let's go to 2024. He leaves the race for president after his disastrous performance on June the 27th in the debate with Donald Trump. A performance that made clear to the entire world that Joe Biden's dementia had advanced to a point that he was not even functioning at a high level. It's a disastrous performance. A short while later, in July of 2024, he left the race for president and endorsed Kamala Harris. He left the race for president and endorsed Kamala Harris. And CBS News then reported on his brother, talking about him leaving the race for president. Here's what CBS News reported July 2024. Listen.
CBS News had a brief conversation with Frank Biden, one of President Biden's two younger brothers, and here's what he told us. He said, I'm incredibly proud of my brother. Selfishly, I will have him back to enjoy whatever time we have left.
Stop.
He is a genuine hero.
Whatever time we have left? Why would he say such a thing? Oh, that's right, because he knew, just like Joe Biden knew in 2022, that he had cancer. They all knew. They all lied. Don't worry, Kash Patel and Pam Bondi and Dan Bongino and the rest of them are going to get to the bottom of this, and quickly. Joe Biden was diagnosed with cancer years ago. I'm just going to tell you that right now. I don't have any source for that. I don't have any authority for that, except to know that it is the damn truth. Joe Biden was diagnosed with cancer years ago, maybe even prior to running for president in 2020, or at least during his campaign for president in 2020, he was diagnosed with cancer. And they told nobody. The biggest scandal in American history is unfolding in front of us. The biggest scandal in American history is unfolding in front of us, and that's the cover-up of the cover-up of the cover-up, the lies, and more lies. Joe Biden's dementia also predates 2020. His Parkinson's disease diagnosis, which is what I believe it is, I could be wrong about that, but something's causing the dementia. I believe it's a form of Parkinson's disease. We'll see how that one weighs out when we get a chance to look at it in retrospect, which we will. It may be a year from now, maybe a couple of years from now, but we will know what the disease was that caused his brain to be addled, made it so he was shuffling along, so he couldn't climb the big stairs on Air Force One and had to take the back stairs, the short stairs, and those were even a challenge many days. We'll know why he fell over on a stationary bicycle and all these other things. We'll know soon enough. And I think it's a form of Parkinson's. We'll see if I'm right about that or not. I'd place money on me. I'm usually right. And I will tell you to place money on the fact that his cancer diagnosis happened years ago. It's not something new. PSA levels are something that are easy to test for. It's routine even. If you get an annual physical, which Joe Biden did with the best doctors in the world, then you would know. Simply put. Reince Priebus, Republican, had this to say.
First of all, people were put to shame, me and others out there that talked about Joe Biden's mental acuity. We were told he was sharp as a tack, he had a photographic memory, he was intense and brilliant. And what's amazing is the sources of this book were the same sources that told us that we ought to be ashamed of ourselves. It's a stutter. Stop talking about him. The fact is they were managing his decline in a nursing home in the White House.
A nursing home in the White House. He's exactly right. And so don't mistake what I'm talking about here as attacks on Joe Biden personally. That's why they want to do this, by the way. That's why the diagnosis was released on a Sunday. You can't attack a man with cancer. I'm not attacking a man with cancer. I'm not attacking Joe Biden at all. I'm attacking the lying sons of bitches that were around him, telling you that he was sharp as a tack, that he had a photographic memory, that he hadn't lost a step, while he's wandering around the White House naked at midnight, mumbling. This is the guy they protected. This is the guy they gave the nuclear football to. If the auto pen was running the White House and everything he signed into law and the pardons, who was running the nuclear football? Who was running the nuclear football? Who had charge of that? If the auto pen was running everything else, and it was, who was in charge of the nuclear football? Those are the people we're holding accountable today and forever. Still to come, Tom Colson will be here. We're going to talk about gold, silver, collectibles, all of it coming up on the Steve Gruber Show.